All right, let's dive on into our next viewer submission for this morning. So this is an easy Lux deck, which I think is a really neat take on Lux as a champion. Lux is a champion that typically sees play in more controlling decks as a way to keep the board in check. She's a 4/5 for 6 that starts the barrier, so she's hard to kill the first turn she comes into play. And she levels up when she's seen you play 6+ mana worth of spells. And when she levels, she creates a Final Spark. And Final Spark deals 4 damage to an enemy, so it can help you control the board. But notably, it also has Overwhelm. So if you're Final Sparking something that has 1, 2, or 3 life, Final Spark hits their Nexus for the excess damage. So this take on Lux is kind of interesting. It is a more aggressively slanted kind of tempo-oriented deck. So we've got, spells like Thermo Beam and Mystic Shot and Get Excited, things that help us interact with the board, but also can act as reach to kill people in the late game. Also have Sharp Sight as a great combat trick, and at the top end of our curve, we have some progress day to draw a lot of cards and also trigger Lux's level up / Final Spark creation at burst speed. So I'm interested to see how this plays out, if Lux feels okay in this more aggressive shell, or if she feels like a kind of unnatural clunky top end to what this deck is otherwise looking to do. Mad Wheels, good morning. Admiral Poops McGee, Twitch usernames. Thanks for the quarter view. I appreciate the Prime support. Welcome back. Yeah, could be good first pick. This hand seems fine, right? We got Fleet Feather into Chump Wump. I've got Get Excited to discard Jury Rig. So, one thing card game players tend to miss when deck building a lot of time, my experience, is that someone commented on there's a lot of 2-ofs in this deck list. And while that's accurate, it's often not, while it's technically correct, it's often not correct to think about your cards in terms of just what card they are, but more so in terms of what specific role that card fills in the deck that you're playing. So, as an example of this, we're playing 2 Mystic Shots and 3 Get Exciteds, and it's not really that you don't want to think about it as 2 Mystic Shot so much as you want to think of it as we're playing 5 pieces of removal. We're playing 2 Mystic Shot and 3 Get Excited, and these are 5 cards that all fill a very similar role, is the best way to approach that, in my opinion. Bladed Caretaker is very good here. Just gonna go ahead and pass here. They'll attack in, hook these. We'll take 3 down to 16, and then we'll drop Ezreal. We'll be able to open attacks and make a Mystic Shot next turn. I'd assume Augment means the card has to be in play.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in.
I'm in. Oh, an Ox, an interesting one.
Sure.
Ladies. Only revenge.
I have the board music up higher than it had previously been in the past, but I didn't think I would classify it as too loud. So I had the board music down for some reason. I don't remember turning it down. Past Jeff must have done it at some point way back. Let me just start here. Similar to tickets on Moto? No. Runeterra doesn't have a system where you have to put hundreds or thousands of dollars into it to get cards either, though. A miracle? Secondary markets blow. You can reasonably, completely free to play a deck in Runeterra, and you can buy any deck outright for less than $30. Runeterra is not an investment engine. It is a game that you can play for fun, because games are fun.
Watch and learn. Can't stop me.
That egg.
Aside from Artifact, and anybody who hasn't been living under a rock knows how successful that game was, games don't do secondary markets like Magic Online does. It's incredibly awkward and crappy. I mostly play games I can try and profit off of. Well, if you're a competitive player, Runeterra has every 2 months $20,000 seasonal tournament. I'm sure they're going to expand into more esports other than that, but no, as far as like using Runeterra as a stock portfolio, that's not an option. That's also true. It is against the terms of service on Magic Online to cash out your collection. You are technically breaking their terms of service when you do that.
I'm so good, I surprised myself.
Hungry Roomba. Hungry Roomba. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. It honestly might be worth saving this Thermo Beam for a potential... I can wait here before they attack. Might be worth saving this Thermo Beam for a They Who Endure.
I must get out of here.
Yeah, let that draw happen. I don't think I want to discard this to Beam. This does deny my Ezreal trigger here. We're going to take 4 on this hit, but that's fine.
I don't miss. Gotcha. Firing.
So every time we target one of their units with the spell, we deal 2. That's They Who Endure. Our damage-based removal deck is really not particularly good against this card. I guess we're doing this. This lets me block this, so I'm not dead in combat, and then I can Thermo Beam it afterwards. So not in a great spot, but technically not dead on board. Wow, they didn't open attacks. That's so good for us. What's going on? Greed is good. Well, poop.
Oh, really?
Not quite the atrocity I was expecting, but second Endur'll do, pig. Hopefully we can find some of those discard aggro decks we ran into a bunch with Field the Elusives. Okay, this is an aggro deck at least. Gosh, am I full mulliganing here? All these cards are kind of expensive and slow. Yeah. Not quite discard aggro, but an aggressive deck all the same. We've got Chump Wump into some Treasure is a pretty good curve, because Chump Wump makes us a Mushroom Cloud that we don't mind discarding.
Coming in hot! Death doesn't scare me.
And then our mana will actually line up kind of okay here. I expect they'll open attacks. Yeah, so I'll get to some Treasure here and ditch this Mushroom Cloud. And then next turn with my 1 banked spell mana, I'll go up to 4 so I can play Ezreal next turn and then still have 2 mana left over to use his Mystic Shot to kill something, which is great.
The world's a big place. Let's see all of it.
Let's see all of it.
Like a fish in water.
Stop bragging if you can back it up.
You can't do this.
Still get to use my mana here to kill one of their things. I don't get the free Mystic Shot off of Ezreal this turn, but that's fine. Just want to try and keep their board as small as possible. Could see a Noxian Fervor. Okay, and so this feels like a big win for me. They're killing my Ezreal, which feels a little bit bad, but any burn spell that's being spent on my units as opposed to my base feels like big upside for us. We've got Dub's Progress Day in hand here, so if we can just survive to get to these, we'll be in a very good spot.
Who's ready for a show?
Okay, I think I go ahead and I drop Chump Wump here, and then if they attack with this, I get to block plus clap this with Get Excited. And so, we're at 12, and the board is mostly clear here. If we can dodge Captain Pharaon, we can dodge a ball. This could even potentially give us an out to a Captain Pharaon. Okay, well, assuming we don't get triple decimated, I feel kind of okay.
Like a yodeling uniform.
Now, that could be a big if.
Ye started without me.
Some rock got me good.
Okay, we get to go Lux into Poggers Day here. Is Gangplank leveled? He is, but I have Beam.
Your king has returned. Neither the blades nor the depths could claim me.
Are you asking me, do I think Soraka Kench should cut Starspring for Jack the Winner? Or am I misunderstanding your question? It is Poggers Day, chat. I'm hip with the kids. I can meme.
Where you point that thing?
Excuse you.
Hello, fellow kids.
The sun is shining. We should too.
We should too.
Gotta go with the flow. Illuminate the enemy. Why are you here?
Fervor me, daddy. Oh, yeah. You know just what I like. Gotcha. Ha! Got him.
Fortune favors the bold.
Glug, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. No Pharaon. No Pharaon. No Pharaon.
Can every day be progress day? Pushing my limits.
Hey, Glug, thanks for the Prime support. Welcome to Hopelandia. There's a lot of great people. You can send that to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it my way this month. Alright, so we are dead to Noxian Fervor here. Do they have Noxian Fervor 3? Really close game here.
There's plenty of killing left.
If they Fervor, we can Mystic Shot ourselves. Technically correct. So I actually want to bank spell mana here. Perfect. Okay, so we can kill them with burn damage in response. So the scary part is third Fervor, but the burn spell means we don't die to that. Landmark makes... No, I don't think that's true, Claire. You don't just stop playing your good card because your opponent has answers for it. Also, if you look at all of the landmark removal that exists, even the new ones are more expensive than Starspring, so your opponent making tempo negative exchanges into your landmarks is a net loss for them overall. Hey, what's going on, Glug? Well, welcome to Runeterra. If you're looking for a place, I'm live here every single morning. If you're new to the channel with Runeterra stuff, usually Monday through Friday at a minimum. I also do some weekend streams. You can find my schedule here. And if you're looking for a place to chat about Runeterra stuff and board games and all sorts of other things, pop on into my subscriber Discord server as well. We have a lot of channels in there for a lot of different things. I mean, the Soraka Kench deck isn't all in on Starspring. They can just attack you. They have the O3 that attacks as well. Hey, it's Jace. Thank you for the 25 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Fiora Shen. Some Treasure sounds great as a reasonable body. I think because I have this to draw discard, I'm going to mulligan this, looking for some other cheap units and burn spells here. They're an aggressive deck, so I want cheap things that play to the board, ideally. Awesome. Hey, what do you teach, Glug? In a former life, I was an adjunct professor. High school French, sweet.
Don't blink or you'll miss me.
Rivers shape the land and give it life.
Do I want to attack into a sharp sight here? I think I do.
One shot, all skill.
Now, I'm going to do this to start and see what they do. I think this is right, because if they sharp sight to save it here, I then don't attack and they don't get to draw a spell. Yeah, so the question isn't about are we the beatdown? The question is, if I attack it and they sharp sight, I can save my Ezreal with the sharp sight, but then they get to draw a spell because this struck. So, while leading with my Mystic Shot potentially grants me less card advantage, I'm denying my opponent card advantage this way as well. And River Shaper is a card that snowballs really hard and fast. It just, like, keeps drawing you spells. I mean, I don't know that it was telegraphed. Like, this deck frequently banks mana and then plays a 3-drop.
The balance requires a walk.
Yeah, anytime you get to kill River Shaper like this before it draws any cards is a huge win in this matchup, I think.
Charge!
Waters are still. Enforced equilibrium.
We got to trade 1-for-1 for a River Shaper, and that's very fortunate to be able to do that. I think we just open attacks here.
Miss.
This is kind of a blowout. So these are gonna punch each other, and then this is gonna generate a Mystic Shot, which will let me kill Shen.
Can't stop me.
You're covered.
Duty, selflessness, heavy burdens.
Pretty sure I want to prioritize killing Shen this turn, so I'm gonna Static Shock these two. Pretty confident they don't have another sharp sight, otherwise they would have probably used it to block here. Unfortunately, won't get to use this while it's cheaper, but this is fleeting, so definitely want to prioritize using that. This feels pretty good so far. Okay, sure. Sad to lose the Ezreal there, but in terms of the number of cards in both players' hands, we're definitely in a decent spot. And Pogger's Day is perfect to pair with our Lux here.
These woods protect their own.
Should be in a very commanding position from here. We're only going to have 7 mana next turn, but the following turn we'll be able to do this. And we can Gotcha plus Sharp Sight to generate a Final Spark next turn. Alfer, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel.
Nature blesses her followers.
Yeah, I got something for you to bless, nature.
I've got your back. Nature blesses her followers.
All right. I don't think I'm supposed to play around the third single combat there. We're not dead here. We're just in less good of a spot than we would otherwise were before. Hey, thank you for the 11 months, Moonin. I'm glad you came over to Runeterra with me.
Nature blesses her followers. Nature
Everything has gone far worse than expected, chat. Everything has gone far worse than expected. Now, the one upside worth noting here is that our opponent's deck does not have traditional reach in it. So, outside of Rally, we don't have to worry about getting burned out here.
Nature blesses her followers.
Oh, that is unreal. Holy shit. Woof. At least we won't get burned out. I mean, that's not reach. They just went way up over the top of us, huh? Everything was going so well this game when we killed the River Shaper to start, and then the Shen, and then, like, we have just gotten savaged every single turn for the rest of the game. Yeah, I don't... Man, that was brutal. That was rough. We should have waited to see if they had the rally mana. That one really didn't matter. Lux Kench. Alright, you have my attention, opponent. You did, dude. It was kind of a rough morning for it. We've been getting beat up on the ladder a little bit so far today. Okay, they notably did not get a challenger unit, even if this tough monster is a little bit scary. Just taking the hit for now.
Anything helps.
Well, It is fair to say that this is a very progressive stream, chat.
I got ways to find me mushrooms.
My shield is yours.
Hey, Tilted, thanks for the raid. And thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hope you had a good stream this morning. Now the question is, do I want to throw away a Fleet Feather Tracker to push 8 points of damage here? I think the answer is yes. We attack with all of these and hook these down here. Need to trade these and then bump this off to push in. That's actually a great drop, because it means I can do this and get this straight in here. Even with this having tough. Perfect. Ideally, want to just bank spell mana this turn so we can progress day next turn. Remember. We do have a Jeff Poggy mode. Okay.
Nothing to worry about.
It's like a holiday weekend, right? We got tripped progress day. You get to take Monday off too.
I'm innocent.
Sin. Welcome back, Joy Rock.
Think and silence.
Yeah, the Turbo Lucian build was sweet. I should probably throw that one up on the website. It's a pretty unique archetype. I'm just gonna play Ezreal here.
True display of skill.
A true display of skill.
Justice will be served.
Ezreal is at 0 out of 6.
Everywhere I go, the light follows.
The light follows. Everywhere she goes. Do 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 do. Well, poop. Man, it's been a rough day, chat. Yeah, we might be able to burn them out. We might be able to burn them out.
Put an end to magic.
Alright, so we're gonna turn Gotcha into a burn spell here by blocking with this and then killing our own thing. And then the 2 from this is gonna level Lux and give us a final spark. And then Gotcha here is gonna happen, which will give us another final, which will get us 2 more towards this. Big brain plays here this morning. That's actually great for us, right? Because now they go down to... Now they go to 1? Then they still have this in play that we can Final Spark? And then this will give us another Final Spark? Dealerino. Alright, that was a sick game. Pulled a sneaky on him, champ. Ponzu TV, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Welcome everybody hanging out this morning, by the way. Great to see 400 people in here for some Runeterra. If you're like Ponzu TV and you're new to the channel, welcome. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here doing Runeterra stuff at least 5 days a week, sometimes 6 or 7 days a week. I also have a YouTube channel where I do post highlight videos 7 days a week as well. I usually try and play at least 2 different constructed decks every single day. A lot of the decks that we play here on this channel are a little bit off the beaten path decks like this. Most of the decks we play are viewer submissions. I couldn't possibly come up with all these wonderful, crazy ideas myself, so shout out to the Hoaglandia community for supplying me with a constant flow of sweet decks to slam into the ladder. Shagaball, thanks for the follow. Had to wait 10 minutes to chat. Another guy coming from Hearthstone. Appreciate the way you explain turns. Way you can mouse over cards and read the text. Hearthstone overlay had that ability. Yeah, on desktop, the overlay should be active. If you're on desktop and the overlay isn't up, you might want to disable your ad blocker. Some ad blockers block Twitch extensions because of the way they overlay on top of a video. Alright, so fearsome aggro here. I actually think this hand's probably great. Rummage paired with Chump Wump sounds excellent. And this is okay to help me block. Ezreal helps pick apart their board as well. Do I use a deck tracker? I do not utilize a deck tracker, no. I think Mobilytics has a deck tracker, but it has ads on it that aren't optional. So that annoys me. I'd rather use no deck tracker than use an ads not optional deck tracker. I wish Twitch had a shorter follower requirement to be able to chat. Unfortunately, even with the small amount of viewers that I have here, if we turn follower mode off, we get spam bots in chat pretty consistently. Like a 3 or 5 minute follower mode would be nice. Alright, so I have 5 mana total this turn. I kind of want to gotcha while it's cheap, but I also kind of want to kill this with Static Shock this turn. I guess Static Shock kills this in the Spiderling next turn. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and gotcha and kill this, I think. And then we'll Sharp Sight Ezreal, eat the Mist Wraith. We'll take 3, and then Static Shock can kill this plus this next turn, or the Mystic Shot even, maybe. Well, now we're taking a lot more than 3, but Static Shock will clean up these 2 next turn.
No sweat.
Going to 11 here. Harrowing is a card we'll want to be conscious of. You can't always beat Harrowing, but sometimes you can, so it's something you want to be thinking about as you play your games, usually.
I don't miss. Nailed it.
Nailed it. You beat the Arc Illager? Good job, bud.
Firing.
Hey, don't run with the switch. You're very good. Good job. Sorry, that's a big deal, chat. We had tried to battle the Arc Illager together a couple of times, and we had failed spectacularly thus far. So, his character is leveling up nicely. That's Jacob, for anybody new to the channel. He's my oldest son. Unfortunately, don't have great blocks here. I can at least do this, assuming we're not going to get Pale Cascaded or Marked. Nope, no combat trick there is very good for us. Kind of wish we would have drawn something else that we could, Maybe I'm supposed to play this out as a blocker first for this. Is that just lethal? No, I have one fearsome blocker. Some days you're the pigeon, Lambton. Other days you're the statue. It's just how it goes. Anner C, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. There. Does Kalista... I think Kalista is bringing back... a Wraith Caller so we can... That'll do big.
Best 2 out of 3?
I would love best 2 out of 3 more consistently. Easy. I would like that. Speaking of best 2 out of 3, I wonder if Riot's going to post the top 32 lineups from the tournaments this weekend. Yasuo, Leona. So this is usually more of a controlling deck. I think I'm mulliganing these. I guess they have the Leona package with Daybreak, so maybe keeping Thermo Beam is fine. I have Ezreal for that. We are attacking on odds here, which is nice for Ezreal. Probably going to bank spell mana on 2 here, so that way I can play Ezreal and then Mystic Shot next turn. They gave us something to kill, so just bank this up to 3. Having 2 spell mana banked on turn 3 when you're attacking with Ezreal is something you frequently want to be doing, especially if they have units in play you can be killing.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in.
I'm in.
The guilty were banned.
I just want to give this the clap, huh? I think Sharp Sight's more valuable later. This exchange has been fine.
The power of the immortal sun. Glorious light rains down.
I think I'm just gonna go ahead and beam her here. And then she won't attack in, and I can kill her with Mystic Shot next turn. I mean, so like, did you watch that last game, Ghosty? The issue with that last game that I played wasn't that I didn't have early blockers, it's that I had blockers and they couldn't block fearsome things. So like, what you're recommending with Thermo Beam doesn't actually solve the problem that I'm having with this deck.
I go where the road takes me.
Targeting this helps level Ezreal faster, and it means if I draw a Get Excited, we can kill him with that.
Light.
I'll just make the mana for now. It's not bad. Maybe get set up to play that next turn. Yeah, I think so. The difference between Get Excited and Mystic Shot is really, really big in Runeterra, especially in the current metagame. So, Kalista, Elise, Draven, Ezreal, these are all champions that have that third point of toughness, and being able to spend 1 spell to kill them is a big deal.
Purpose.
Especially when we have things like Clump of Wumps to create extra cards that we don't mind discarding. He does because he doesn't have to see it. So it's just Ezreal's just global tracking. So silencing Ezreal does not stop him from working towards leveling. He doesn't have to see it to happen. That being said, if you hit 6 targets with Ezreal, that while he's silenced, he won't level up until he stops being silenced, is an important distinction, I think. They have a third Hush? No, but they could have a stun here, right? I mean, just because a deck is a brew or a meme or whatever you want to call it, doesn't mean you should abandon good deck building principles while working on it. So again, like, if you want to recommend we add something to the deck, my question to you is always the same. What problem does my deck have, and how are you solving that problem with the recommendation that you're making?
Things never dull.
Can't find a chump block here. Generate a mushroom here, and then we'll rummage, ditch these. Yeah, sure, but again, like, I just talked about how that's not really a problem for us, Scissor. You're right that that's a thing that it does, but, like, we already do that by playing Get Excited. What is in their hand? They just like have a bunch of minas or something rotting up there?
My fate.
Face my shield. Try to leave a dent. I will protect you.
Well, if they had Dial-Up Dragon, they could have played him last turn, right, Fox? They were on 8 mana. I think they ended the turn with 8 mana. Like, they passed with a bunch of mana available. I think I just go ahead and put them to 2 here. Yeah, exactly, Quaddle.
I am the bulwark against darkness.
Twinkle Star, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I think we just Poggers Day, right? Looking for a lethal burn spell. That's a gotcha. Ezreal is almost leveled here. See some folks using the Godfall command. I know a lot of folks are usually just here for my card game stuff, and I appreciate y'all. And if you want extra way to support my content today, hang out for the Godfall sponsored segment. It's one that pays me out a little bit extra if I have a higher viewer count, so I appreciate the people that check out the game while I play it today. You do that for an hour or two at the end of the stream after we're done with Runeterra stuff. I'm just passing for now. Yeah, I'm gonna play the Ezreal. I think I just want a full board to threaten open attacks with next turn.
I face my fate. Your turn.
I didn't do nothing.
I didn't do nothing. don't think that's strictly true, Fox. I think with the prevalence of Go Hard, there's definitely merit to playing Notify before Deny. Being able to counter their very first copy of Go Hard is a big deal, because then they have a harder time setting up their engine, so that if you counter the first one, they don't shuffle 2 back in. Hey, Real Rogu, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
Destiny's waiting.
For a bit, huh? Stretch the legs out. Curves.
And Ezreal is victorious.
Yasuo get played in the tournament. I don't believe Riot has published or shared any public metrics from the tournament in terms of deck lists yet. I don't know if they intend to or if they have the infrastructure to do that. I hope at the very least they give us the top 32 lineups from all the different regions. But so far we only know deck lists from people that have shared them publicly. Alright, Draven Darius. So this is an aggro deck. I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan these two, I think. This is expensive, and this needs other things to discard. I'm looking for something like a jury rig to pair with this, or something that generates mushrooms. Second, Get Excited is not stellar without something cheap to discard. Easy no blocks here. Treatsies.
No mercy for heretics.
Alright, play a goat so I can beam it before you get a gem. Precious pet. Come in for that exchange. I'm gonna keep the board as clean as possible. Goal is basically live to Lux this game. I actually think calling the discard aggro deck mindless is incredibly underselling it. The deck's got a lot of sequencing decisions and permutations that you have to go through. It's definitely a deck that rewards you for mulliganing appropriately too. People often confuse, I think, unfairly confuse games being short with games not having decisions in them. And this is exactly what we're looking for here. This plays to the board while also generating us something to discard to get excited. One thing you'll note here is I've been trading off with my opponent's board very aggressively all game, and part of the reason for that is my opponent's archetype tends to play the card Crowd Favorite, which is a card that gets bigger depending on how wide their board is. So, gonna very proactively trade whenever possible here to try and keep their board as narrow as I can.
Is the one true light.
The one true light.
Everything's in place behind you.
Maybe I'm supposed to keep sharp sight there. Down to 8 here, which is definitely danger zone area. They are a Darius deck, and he levels when we go hit 10 or under. If I open with Draven and Draven biggest hand advantage, it's smart to drop the Draven. Yeah, if you're gonna play the biggest band on one, probably. It could also be right if you have a different one drop to just mulligan the biggest fan. It really depends on what the rest of your hand looks like with curve considerations. One of the things you're looking to maximize early is going just like 1, 2, 3, 4 with a deck like that. They have 2 of these. Hoggers Day!
Punish transgressions.
This is my choice.
I think I block the non-overwhelm here because of their ability to play decisive maneuvers. I also think there's a strong chance I'm supposed to shoot this ahead of time to stay out of decimate range.
It's so beautiful. Better, brighter than before.
Two mana get excited is kind of insane here.
La, 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 la.
They've already played 2 Pale Cascades this game, right? Think so? I don't think I'm playing her out of their Pale Cascade. That's really cool. He did beat it on his own. He's really high level. You want to get the new level? The ruins. 2 more days till we get the ruins, bud. Okay, I can help you guys after work, okay? Maybe mommy can help you. Walk very carefully with the switches, boys. Don't drop them. Yeah, we'll be going over the spoilers basically as soon as they drop each day, Dark. And then the YouTube video with my thoughts on it will go up at the end of the day each time. Okay.
It's Draven time.
Are they dead? Pretty close to it, right?
Check me out.
So I get to drop Ezreal here.
Place. Let's see all of it.
Ezreal, leveled Ezreal with Lux is kind of gross, right? So I get to Mystic Shot this, which deals 2 with this, and then levels Lux. And then I get to Final Spark this, which deals 2 and then 3. Right?
Sure.
Because the Final Spark will trigger Ezreal as well. They're quite the power couple, chat. Nice, nice.
I stand for Noxus.
Look at the little bitty baby crowd favorite, chat. Who's a cute little crowd favorite? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. That was sweet. Got to do the thing. Got to set it all up. You love to see it. And that was exactly why, starting as early as turn 2, I took every trade possible. Because keeping that card small is very important, especially in a deck like what we're playing, where a lot of our removal is damage-based. Get excited when Jury Rig especially is stellar here, alongside against the Fearsome's deck. I'm going to mulligan these two, looking for other cheap interaction like Mystic Shot or Ezreal. Zizou, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. And there's our EZ. Like his name, chat. So, I think While I could give this the clap here with Get Excited to save 2 life, I think I'd rather just take 2 and then play Ezreal next turn with big spell mana and use his Mystic Shot to kill this. Saving this to prioritize killing their 3 toughest champions has a lot of value in this matchup.
Time for a true display of skill.
Yes, yeah, keeping their board small is also very valuable against Decisive Maneuver. Big agree. Ha! That's actually really good. That's a slick play. So that keeps Ezreal. Ezreal can't strike if he doesn't have damage. So, yeah, just gonna pass here. Morning, Grimjows. If they open attacks, I'll probably Sharp Sight. Okay, they didn't, so now I get to Sump Dredger. Been a jury rig here. Just do this. And then we can open on Ezreal attacks next turn. Mystic Shot this Storko.
Sounds dangerous.
And throw some other blockers down with these for this guy.
That's gotta hurt.
Come closer. I don't bite.
So, I'm going to go ahead and clap Elise in response to this. So that way, my opponent can't draw another glimpse off of this glimpse to glimpse the Elise. They just already had it. Sad. This also denies Ezreal leveling progress, which sucks. Ezreal does not count things as targeted until your spell has successfully resolved. It's an important thing to note. Mr. Zout, thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. Yeah, like, and this is a tough part, right? Like, just like look how full their hand is at this point. I'm pretty far off of having enough aggression to kill them at the moment. So like, they just gassed up a ton. This clap to kill Kalista here might give us enough time to survive. Maybe. This can hook into here, which is great as well. So I get to put this here. I get to go clap this. And then super dead to Mark of the Isle here. Alright, didn't get marked. Glass half full. Get Excited is an excellent draw. Wonder if we'll see them trade this here, so my Mystic Shot doesn't have anything to target. I think this is still a fine attack. Honestly, I think if they don't play out anything into our Mystic Shot here, we're just going to pass the turn. If they want to start the turn with an empty board, that's fine for us. We're going to be in trouble against Harrowing, but outside of Harrowing, we're okay. And they elected to play this out because it doesn't die to Mystic Shot, but it's going to die to Mystic plus Static, which is good for us. Sure. Play something else out that I can Static. The 1 point of damage to their face doesn't really matter, and Static Shocking this in the event that I draw my second Static Shock is valuable. Definitely feeling the squeeze on having enough things to discard here. I think I'm supposed to just rummage away these two and hope to find like a chump wump here. Gotcha is fine. The problem here is that like the exchanges of resources that are happening in this game are just me treading water, and my opponent had those glimpses that just got them so far ahead in terms of raw card count. I'm just not going to be able to catch back up. We got, like, their card advantage cost them 2 mana, and my card advantage cost me 8. We actually had a discussion about this on my Twitter and in the subs Discord the other day. I think a lot of people use the term pay to win too aggressively. They use it to just describe things they don't like. I think there's this idea that, like, if something is expensive, it's pay to win. And I think that's a really silly definition. I think that's a really silly argument. Just because something has a barrier to entry doesn't mean spending more money necessarily lets you, like, a barrier to entry is different from pay to win in my opinion. It's pay, yeah, I think pay, that's my opinion on the matter. I think describing something as pay to compete is more accurate and in good faith. Yeah, like, sports aren't pay to win just because you have to purchase expensive gear in order to play them. You have to pay to compete in them, though. Well, again, Static Shock, honestly, the rest of these seem fine. We get to Urchin the Jury Rig here. Mystic Shot sounds great. Wonder how this matchup goes. We have a lot of cheap things that aren't super happy to eat go hards, but we also, on the flip side, have a lot of good ways to kill Twisted Fate.
Nothing like the stink of blood and sweat.
Yeah, I think it comes from a lack of vocabulary. I think when a lot of people complain that something is pay to win, what they actually mean is it tends to be predatory. Like, a game like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, I think it's wrong to describe those games as pay to win. They're expensive and they're predatory, but those two things are different than a game being pay to win. Predatory meaning they hide what their game actually costs to play, and they obfuscate it with loot boxes, and they're expensive to actually get what you want. But neither Hearthstone or Magic or any of these other card games that are very predatory give you a strict advantage once you have a competitive deck simply when you pay more money. Yeah, pay to play, pay to compete, barrier to entry, all of those things I think are much better, more accurate descriptors than what pay to win tends to be thrown around as in gaming culture. I don't even think pay to remove variance is accurate. Pay to compete is super accurate. Magic is similar to a sport like golf, where the cost to get in the door is high, but once you're in the door, you don't gain more of an advantage by spending more money. Is the best way to describe it.
One shot, all skill. Can't stop me.
Like, I could spend $1 million on golf equipment, but I wouldn't be able to beat Tiger Woods in a round of golf.
Like a fish in water.
If pay to win was accurate in sports, the New York Yankees would win every single year. Are they one of the most, So, one thing here, notably my opponent is not playing Gangplank as one of their champions in this deck, which I think means I want to go ahead and Thermo Beam now. If they had a bigger threat like Gangplank, I might want to consider saving this for it, but because they don't, I'm happy to just pull the trigger right away. So this is their third go hard, so the next one's going to be a pack the bags. I'm of the opinion, Therabray, that most games aren't pay to win. The way I would encourage you to define pay to win, I don't think most games qualify. I think pay to win, the idea of pay to win is mostly nonsense that's put forward by people that, it's mostly nonsense that put forward by people that are rightfully upset that they're priced out of a hobby they would otherwise likely enjoy.
Firing.
And I think rather than admitting that this hobby is too expensive for me to afford, and I really wish it wasn't too expensive for me to afford, they instead call it pay to win.
Watch and learn.
MRP, thank you for the 27 months of Prime support. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, gotcha games like Raid Shadow Legends. I think the PvP aspect of those games especially are one of the few true examples of games that are actually pay to win, where if people aren't familiar with those games, you can literally dump endless money into them, rolling up randomly generated items that will eventually be the stronger than previous items that you have and that other people have. Whereas, like, card games, even if they have an expensive deck buy-in, like, once you have the $200 Hearthstone or Magic deck or whatever it is, you're not going to get more of an advantage spending another $200 compared to somebody else that has the same deck. What do I want to do here? Do I want a Mystic Shot? If I Mystic Shot this, they have a window to drop Twisted Fate this turn. I'm going to chump them and see what they do. How does this list compare to the one on my website? Well, I don't have an Ezreal Demacia deck on my website. I think it's just different. If you're talking about like the Ezreal Go Hard deck, it's just, I would consider that just a different deck. Yeah, stuff like that, Ecker. You're about to lose the game. Would you like to buy a $5 power-up so you don't lose this game? Stuff like that is a very direct impact that's only obtainable via money.
Dead in their tracks.
Hi, I'm Lux. No, wait, that's you.
Sorry, do I know you?
Sorry, do I know you? Poor Ezreal, chat. Poor Ezreal. Yeah, the other part of it too is I don't think that you should like there's a lot of people that like you describe a game as being predatory or you describe it as having a high barrier to entry. I don't think those things are automatically disqualifying for you to enjoy a game. Life is short and you should play things that you like.
There you go.
Full transparency, I've played what could be described as an unhealthy amount of Raid Shadow Legends, and I've definitely given them plenty of money.
Got me.
But those two facts aside, the fact that I've played it a bunch and given them money doesn't change the fact that that game's definitely pay to win and it's definitely predatory. Like, I can acknowledge that, like, this thing that I like has these bad things about it.
Firing.
And I think that that's something that a lot of people have a hard time disconnecting from. They have this attitude where, like, well, if there's this thing that I like, if I say that this thing that I like is bad or has these bad parts about it, then I'm not allowed to like this thing. And, like, it's fine to, like, be like, this thing has some things that really aren't great about it, but I still enjoy it. Life is short, do things that you enjoy. You know, to a certain, within legalities and moralities, obviously, asterisk. Tricky Zerg, thanks for the follow, and Mega, thanks for the follow. This is, getting ready to level up here, so I think we go ahead and Static Shock here and here. Yes, life is often, and that's actually, we've been playing through The Witcher 3 for the first time in the evenings on stream. We're like 20 hours into it, and one of the things I really love about that game is like, it does a job that's better than almost any game I've ever played with the idea that like, life is nuanced in shades of gray. A lot of the decisions you make in Witcher aren't clear-cut morally right, morally wrong. They're like, well, this is kind of good in these ways, and it's kind of bad for these other people, and you have to actually make a decision about that. Those types of things. Hey, Joy Rock, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff out there. Thanks for shipping your Bezo Bucks this way this month. I think I go ahead. Who are we barriering here? So, what if I clap them in response and barrier my Ezreal to generate a Doom Beam here? I think I'm into that. I think I save Ezreal with this Lux barrier and then use Get Excited on their face. Thanks, Joy. That's good to have you here. Yeah, and then like they can negate this final spark effectively by just not playing anything else out to the board. But if they don't play anything to the board this turn, that's a win for us, right? Hey, Geist Muffin, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back.
Go with the flow.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him here. How does their deck win? Usually with Get Excite, with what's it called, an attacking. Well, okay. Deal. I am bursting with excitement over my opponent's line of play, chat. Bursting with excitement. I have 3 children, I can make that joke, chat. I have my dad card stamped and approved. It's okay. Everybody calm down. Yeah, maybe they thought there's a chance Lux isn't super popular. Maybe there's a chance they thought the laser wasn't going to hit their face if they glimpsed it. They could have also used the eye. I guess they had to have the thing in play to see the eye. If the opponent drew more cards than us, did they really lose the game? It's an interesting philosophical question. I think I have, as good as Lux is in the late game here, I just need cheap things that play to the board to start. I think this is a hand where... Okay, I was going to say I'm going to wait to play this till after I Chump Wump, but with the second Chump Wump and Sump Dredger here, I think that changes my line. I think we Urchin on 1, and then we can Chump on 2 into Dredger, discard the Mushroom Cloud on 3.
I am one with the land.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of glad we got to see that. We're getting to see this matchup again. It felt really close, and I feel like we got kind of unlucky last time we played it. So I'm interested to see if it feels close again or if last time was a fluke. Kurgan, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
Nature blesses her followers.
Nature blesses her followers. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just pass the turn here. Pass priority. I think if they attack, am I supposed to block? It could be right to block in Mystic Shot. It could also be right to just pass and like take my mana and then try and Ezreal Mystic Shot this. Ezreal Mystic Shot isn't amazing into Sharp Sight, but Sharp Sight's gonna kind of get us at some point anyway, so it might as well get us now, I think. I think we just do this and then we attack with both. Like, we have so much damage-based removal that Sharpsight's gonna be a blowout at some point, and if they don't have Sharpsight here right away, it's a pretty big swing for us. Single combat, okay. Okay. That's fine. This means that Static Shock can kill this next turn. And if I keep this spell mana banked, if they barrier this in response, I can Mystic Shot it and still kill it, which is good for us. Punis, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. That was a good play for us too into the Static Shock. You'll love to see it. Please play a Shen. Come on. You know you want to, opponent. And even if they Sharp Sight here in response, I'll get to Mystic Shot to finish it. Just like we drew it up.
Save your worlds. We speak with blades.
We speak with blades.
Protect and strike.
Mystic Shot here and preserve my life total. Did they do a second drop of spoilers or just the first ones? The ones that went up this morning we already looked at on stream. Ha! Got him. Best draw on the deck? I mean, it was technically 2 cards, but one of the cards created 4 cards, so a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I just take the pass here. I don't really want to play anything out into this big scary dragon.
The balance requires a watchful eye.
This doesn't feel good, but I think it's the play. Oh yeah, there was Hexacore Foundry in there too. Yeah, technically like 3 cards. Oh, the created cards were also real cards. Oh, I think you're right, they might have been.
I thought you'd never ask.
And a long path to get
Stop bragging if you could back it up.
Don't Sharp Sight me. Don't Sharp Sight me. Don't single combat me. Alright. Alright, I think we're in a pretty okay spot here. Famous last words. Famous last words, I think we might be in an okay spot.
Firing! I'm so good, I surprised myself.
I surprised myself. We'll drop the old clump of wumps here, so we can block Cythria. Need to dodge second Cythria here. She would be very bad news for us.
Enforced equilibrium.
Enforced equilibrium. Ha! With this draw, do I Sharp Sight and then Mystic Shot? I think the answer is yes.
No sweat.
Keeping my life total high also feels valuable. If they barrier here, I have Static Shock to break it. We are the weakest link, in fact. Riposte would have been bad. I mean, Riposte would have traded for Ezreal, but I think that's still a good exchange for us. I need to work my way through that at some point, right? Hold on. Thank you for bringing it back to charge. You're such good kids, chat. I'm very lucky.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in.
Deck bleeds. You can always find our deck list by typing !deck in chat. You can also find it on your screen via the overlay widget if you are on a desktop.
They are under my protection.
Man, this card is such an impossible beating, chat. That was probably the best straw in my deck. Get Excited also was good. So I get to go ahead and do this, shoot them, and then do this to finish this. And I have plenty of fearsome blockers here. I'm not dead yet. Nice, nice.
Don't hold back.
I didn't do nothing. Poggers Day. Don't you wanta, gotcha. Don't you wanta, gotcha. Da, 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 da. This is why I Pogger's Day before damage happened, so that way we could do this and hit this to mark some damage on here. By popping the old barrier. Don't rally me. Sick.
One shot, all
Sweet.
skill.
Yeah, this matchup doesn't seem bad. It was very close when we lost it earlier. And this felt pretty reasonable here. Good back and forth. Sick.
I knew we had it all along.
I knew we had it all along. We're gaining LP. What is this wizardry? Alright, Nautilus Maokai, the Deep. We are assuredly the beatdown in this matchup. I think we keep some treasure with Jury Rig for that purpose. Mulligan these, looking for some other cheap units to get to the board. Yeah, we know what three champions we're getting, right? Was leaked via voice lines or something. If I recall correctly.
Fresh is worth at least twice as much.
Happy to Mystic Shot this and then get our beatdowns in here. Vile Feast here. Alright, I'm gonna run it back. Kill your things back, you for 5. Zoe, Ribbon, Victor.
I will tend this garden.
I think I'm binning the redundant Lux here. Again, she's just kind of slow, and we're definitely the beatdown in this matchup. I want to put as much pressure into my opponent as quickly as possible.
Be gone, thief.
I'm sorry. Alright, so I think I'm just passing here. And then next turn we can go Lux and then have mana for Sharp Sights. I wonder if we'll see them open on attacks or not, but it's just dead. Sweet. Games like that are ones I really love in Runeterra, where we are able to properly identify what role our deck is taking, whether or not we need to be aggressive or defensive, mulligan appropriately, and then assume that role based on the game actions that we take. Knowing how your matchup should approximately be playing out is a big deal in Runeterra. Probably more so than any other card game I've ever played. The fact that you get to see their regions and champions at the start of the game really lets you leverage the skill of knowing what role or position you're supposed to be taking in a given matchup, and then try and execute it appropriately. Said Lee Sin. Probably a hard matchup if I had to venture a guess. Let's see how it plays out in practice. Definitely don't want Pogger's Day in our opener. Sump into Jury Rig. I'd rather Sump into Jury or Clump into Sump. Clump into Sump into Wumps. I think I'm gonna mulligan the Jury Rig. We have this into this, and this provides something for us to discard. Perfect! Clump into Sump into Chump Wump. Put on your mask, secure my tail, start my day.
Mystical levitation requires concentration.
So they can grant a bonus on here, but that's fine because I still get to trade. It's like a decent exchange for us overall. I think I Ezreal here rather than this. I think I want to be in control of the board, and Ezreal helps me accomplish that goal. I think Beam's probably super clunky in this matchup, so I'm pretty happy to just get an exchange for it here and then get an attack in for 2. Next turn, we'll be able to go Fleet Feather into Chump Wump, and then we'll have a pretty decent open attacks.
I am the blade in the darkness.
Wonderful to see them gem this up. I think I have to just block here. I want to be able to hook this with Fleet Feather Tracker or kill it with Mystic Shot, so letting it level up isn't an option, really. I don't want to try and get it with Sharp Sight, because if they have Pale Cascade, I lose. So again, just like we talked about, I have decent open attacks now. So like this exchange is super fine for us, right? Because I have Static Shock here. Actually, would I rather Sharp Sight here? I think I'm gonna Sharp Sight here to play around another Pale Cascade. Sam DeSherman, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Here, 3 out of 8 on Lee Sin.
Extend your senses.
Oh, could definitely get combo killed by Lee Sin next turn. They go Zenith Blade into triple gem kill us, quad gem kill us.
Conflict is all in the mind. Prepare yourself.
Okay. 9. Time to mushroom up their deck. Maybe? Probably. They didn't have Overwhelm last turn. Do I just, like, pivot into burn mode from here? I think we do, right? I think I think we do this, and then we do this and put a bunch of mushrooms in their deck. Actually, it might be right to just put 20 mushrooms into their deck this turn.
Gems are superb. Bad for the teeth, though.
That's a harvest right there.
They're gonna draw 2 to 3 more cards before they die, before this game is over. And we're gonna average like a little under 1 damage per card from this point. So it's like 2 to 3 points of damage that way. I have 1 point here. We find another get excited with these. We could be good.
Purple?
Purple? They see me rolling. Do do do. Do 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 do. Good quality high roll to start.
I'll see this through.
Without a sound.
So they can level this regardless. How do we feel about, how do we feel about Static Shock? Kill the Mentors. I think I'm kind of into it. That's super brutal.
I fight with the dragon's fury. Go, floaty crystals.
There have been a lot of denies today. You are not wrong.
As one.
Alright, so pretty sure the play from here is put 10 more Puff Caps in your deck. And then we're going to try and burn them out with whatever these progress days find us. So they're going to draw at least 2 more cards here. So we got to try and find 4 points of damage, which is a lot. Deal.
Don't blink or you'll miss me. Stop bragging if you could back it up.
I'll see this through.
Okay, and then I think we just pass here, right? Actually, no, this is free to play out, right? And I want a priority next turn.
The sun rock got me good.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on the sweater already. This is our one shot. It's our chance to roll. This opportunity comes once in a game time. You just gotta believe, chat. Do you believe in the poggeriest of all the days? I should probably lead on this, right? I think this is technically optimal.
I'll see this through.
No way.
Like, I really don't get the point of doing a bunch of sad emotes there when you have the thing. It's not like I could do anything, right? Like, my play is super scripted. I'm forced to spin my tires and try and get there. Yeah. Yeah, people have been super BME with the emotes today. Like, it's cute when you do the sad face and you don't have it and you're hoping that they don't do the thing. But, like, when you guaranteed have the thing that locks me out of it, like, why be annoying? Man, I bet a lot of denies and notified so far today. Counterspell should be illegal. Wait, that's illegal. Yeah, I agree. I'm happy with the decisions I made that game. I think I assessed my role properly and played to the outs that I needed to play to. So Johnny Tryndamere. So this is tough because I don't know what kind of deck they are. They could be an Overwhelm aggro deck. They could also be a control deck. I think I'm gonna lean towards probably Overwhelm because of Sejuani instead of Trundle. So I think I mulligan Progress Day. But if they're a control deck, I would like to keep Progress Day. So it's tough. I just let that happen and then Mystic Shot this. Milk Steak, thank you for re-upping the Prime support. I appreciate that. Wouldn't be here without the support of folks like you, so thanks for keeping me around.
You can see the Nebastian border from here.
I think I'm fine with that trade. Not great for us, obviously, but gonna have to take it at some point. Sweet. Get some gas back in the tank down the line. Whoop. Almost made an oopsie there, chat. Glad I saw the picture. It was like, oh, 3-1 Mystic Shot. So we'll bank Spell Mana this turn and then get set up to Pogger's Day next turn, I think. I agree. Well, the little monkey clap is very satisfying. The War Mother will unite us all. And this is exactly why I did that pre-combat, because we could hit a free Zoanite Urchin and get the jury rig out. The gotcha here is not terrible as well. So now I have to decide, how do I want to line up the rest of my plays this game? So before I block this turn, I kind of want to decide what I'm doing next turn. I think I'm playing Lux next turn. So, like, if I'm playing Ezreal, I want to block here so then I can kill this with Mystic Shot. But if I'm playing Lux, I want to block here so that way I can attack into this having 3 points of toughness. I think I block like this. Well, I guess I could set up for either. I could, like, block here and block here because on 4 toughness, Lux can still attack in. Maybe that's better. Hey, thanks for dropping in, Twitch. Yep, this is going to be our last game with this one, and then we'll be doing some Godfall after. Do I attack Lush into a... Lush. Do I attack Lux into a Hush? I don't think so. I'm going to pass here.
The trap is set.
Okay, Beam's not bad. The opponent is playing Tryndamere Sejuani. Do I just beam this now? I think I just beamed this now, right? This levels Lux and gives me a Doom Laser.
Pushing my limits.
Pushing my limit. I would bet their target card is Pale Cascade, if I was a gambling man. Which I play card games, so very clearly I'm a gambling man.
By the light.
Heed my word.
Nah, I'm holding on to the jury rig for some treasure here for sure.
What are you staring at?
What, me? You? Nothing. I'm Ezreal.
Poor Easy.
For the thrill of battle.
Can't stop me.
Field Rush next turn is going to be real scary.
Charge! Check me out!
So, Feel the Rush is the card that we're scared of next turn, but actually with the Pale Cascade, they can't play it now, right? Which is great. Ezreal and Lux have wonderful synergy together here when they're both in play. Final Sparks giving you those Ezreal triggers. They don't kill us this turn, we might be able to burn them out. So Johnny could threaten to hurt our champions. They have great synergy on board, but unfortunately for Ezreal, not anywhere else. Rough. Rough. It's rough to be Ezreal, chat. It hurts because it's true. That's a Sajani. So I think I block here, take 6, 10. I wanted to give this Challenger with Chump of Wumps, but yeah, maybe getting the 1 point of damage is better. This could be a game that comes down to burning them out, so I could see that. Gotcha here. Maybe I should wait to gotcha in case I draw Ezreal. Yeah, I should probably wait because of the potential to draw Ezreal. Gosh, really close. This Sharp Sight might steal it.
No more holding back.
Opponent is playing Targon, so we could see Guiding Touch or Star Shaping out of them. Is a real possibility. Oh, this is only 1/1. Huh? Yes. Yeah, this card probably means they're only on Pale Cascade.
Stay back.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to put them to 1 also and just hope to draw Mystic Shot. For a Pogger's Day into a Mystic Shot. Gets the line. Wait, what?
Help if I apologized?
Alright, we take those. Be very quiet. So, we were likely to lose there. I think we set ourselves up to have the best chance to win, but yeah, I think they must have miscounted. Huh. You know, I don't really know that I have any specific feedback on things to change in here. This felt like a pretty okay mix of things. I guess the fearsome matchup felt a little bit hard. If I was going to change something, maybe it would be Fleet Feather Tracker. This card overall felt kind of mediocre, and I think the fact that, you know, our unit count's a little bit low makes it kind of hard to trigger Challenger, and the fact that this doesn't block fearsome units feels like a really big deal. A lot of our games came down to being really close to having them dead and hoping to peel some burn spells to finish them off. So I think I would cut these, and I would get up to that third copy of Mystic Shot here. And then, honestly, Sump Dredger and Chump Wump were both excellent cards in the games that we played, and I think I'd probably just round those out. It drags the curve up a hair, but we've got still Beam, Jury Rig, Urchin, Chump Wump, Mystic Shot as like, it's how many? It's 9, 12, 13, 14 cards that are nice and cheap on the curve that feel reasonable. So I think I would do that. I definitely, with Urchin, Rummage, Get Excited, Sump Dredger, I felt like I was stretched for cards to discard consistently. So I think that's fine. Yeah, this curve seems reasonable. I think that would be my recommendation. I want more things that can interact with fearsomes and get in the way of them. So Mystic Shot kills Mist Wraiths, and then Sump Dredger and Chump Wump are both fearsome blockers that seem really, really good. So I think that is where I would end up with on this one.